Graduates, wagwan. How is everybody doing? Big up and a nice clean self. My voice is almost completely mended. Oh my God. How is everybody doing? Hope we are all well. Wait there, as much I want to reach over here so fast. I walk one. Let me scroll up. First of all, big up yourself, Marencha Dawn. Oh, my love it. My love for your punctual for class, you see. You are just, a star student. Let me pin your message. Right. Welcome one, welcome all. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to show appreciation to the channel. That is all we ask as you enter the classroom. Thea Rich, big up yourself. Noriax, what's going on? Andreen, big up yourself. Harlexia, big up yourself. Pumpkin, big up yourself. Pottinger Naturals, how you doing? Producer Wayne Global TV in the building. You guys make sure that you follow up my bro, yeah? Big up yourself, Wayne. Carolyn Wilson Kennedy, good day. Jeanette Johnson, my member, big up yourself. And Jay Summer, what's going on? Hope you're good. Good afternoon to June Sundak. Norma, how are you doing? Ashley Bell, big up yourself. Aliko Brata in the building. Also follow up my sister in Tammy. Yes, big up yourself. Your belly full. I just burp and I wait for the show. Oh, you mean? I hope you have a little bit of a drink with you. You know, we always have a glass, right? Or a bottle. In this case, me have a Heineken, so you don't know, say tonight now go normal. Yes? Big up yourself, Hortense Palmer. How are you doing? Laverne Gillette Williams or Gillette Williams. Big up yourself. Paulette Manning, how are you doing, sis? Hope you're good. Right? Who else have I missed? I don't want to miss anybody. Drea 1969. It's just time. Big up yourself. Who else? Simone Barton Joseph. What's going on, sis? Jenny Tom. Big up yourself. David Palmer. Up, and running. Yeah, man. We're going to talk about a number of things tonight. So please to make sure that you hit the share button. Hold on, let me share over on Facebook and let everybody know that I am live. Okay. Hold on one second. How's everybody's Christmas shopping going? I hope everybody finished. I am more or less finished with all of the big shopping. I just need to get my stocking fillers sorted out, which is a quick thing. Going to buy up all of the meats them tomorrow. Go buy up all my meats tomorrow. And then it's perishables next week. Yes, yes. You don't know. Hold on a second. Has that shared or has it not shared? Yes, it has. Let me just tag everybody. Yeah. So let me tag everybody. Yeah, man. Yeah, so we're going to talk about a number of things, people. We are going to talk about a number of things because um, I've deliberately allowed the internet to do what it does because me not tend for running pan topics as them release. You understand, Professor Gorgeous Lady? Big up yourself, right? Hey Dawn, big up yourself. I watch her, I just don't comment. Okay. You had some white wine and you have some Baileys. Oh my gosh, you are very well prepared for class. For his kingdom says, I don't celebrate Christmas. Fair enough. It's not for everybody. Not everybody believes in Christmas, but for those of us who do believe in Christmas, I do hope your preparations are going well. So, as I said, I don't tend to run on to topics as them release. I let the internet do it do because sometimes people run on things a little bit too suddenly and miss certain information. So I like to sit back and let the internet do its thing before I come out and say my two piece, right? And one of the things that really caught my attention this week was the whole World Dog situation. So we're going to start with that because I'm not certain if World Dog is just panicking or if his allegations about potential charges or being charged is accurate. Because what I can tell you is that I have done a search under his name, his legal name in the Broward County in Florida. And I see absolutely no active charges. The only open charge I see or open case I see has to do with some traffic violation. So nothing to write home about. Big up yourself, Island Breeze. So I was a bit taken aback by his statement that he has actually been charged. I couldn't quite understand all charges come into it when there was no legal notification of this on the public record system. I don't know if there is some delay between when a case is open and when things get updated by the county clerk. But as I can just confirm, I've seen absolutely nothing in terms of public records to say that World Dawg has an open case. So that was the first thing that made me kind of question what it is that he said on his live. And for those of you who missed what he said, I'm just going to replay a small section of that video to put some perspective on my concerns. And like I said, we're not trying to discredit his claims. He's saying what he's saying based on what he thinks is going on. But we're going to go into it just a little bit and to go into exactly what kind of thing is possible with regards to the law. Okay, I'm going to show you a few things that I found, and I'm going to show you something that makes me believe that this is happening, and made me think that he's really been warned that a charge is imminent or taking place. I don't know, but let's listen to what he has to say. And then let me know in the comments your opinions on this. Just bear with me. Let me just connect this to my speaker. I have speaker problems. I swear, I need to sort this for the new year. This is something that's on my agenda to sort for the, yeah, to make sure that I have proper speakers attached to my computer and not some Bluetooth business. I need wired stuff. So there's no delay. All right. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Let me go back. Okay, hold on. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear.
Picture with me. I want to make the people that know say, I want to go down to the detective office and make police make everybody walk free and charge me for my friend murder. Much over blood clot 25 years me I look on. And I never bumbo clock. None of that. None of that. I come clock tell that. I can't tell you that. No. So when you hear them talk, bro, keep on make them talk. Keep on make them do what them a bumbo clock do. Because guess what? The way you slung and talk about me, bro, and me, the police them, me, look for my friend. Me and my friend in a bumbo clock road. My friend up on the drunk and me said so. I ball for my bumbo clock life. And me did it, I ball for my life till one time my life I come out of my body. Just to come out of hospital come here say, and me then charge my friend murder. I'm telling this youth. So all on can go and talk and have a wonderful day. Me not elaborate on nothing. But me just wake up and see a bag of text and see everything one I do. Just pray that. Me see everything one I do. Just pray that. I wanna act like me not do nothing. I wanna act like me never do nothing. I wanna act like say here and I do nothing, bro. I see how I deal with me. God. Me got my friend funeral and say I me have to hide on a bumbo clock tree. Eh? 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 You got my friend funeral. I have to hide on a bumbo clock tree. We pay for funeral expense and can't turn up in a bumbo clock church. I want to tell the people them there sitting there. I want to tell the people them bumbo clock sitting there. So we pay for funeral and we talk about a bumbo clock door on a tree. Can't see my fucking friend.
Mm.
Aisha say, Hero, you and Jonah live so. Man, put you on the list so you can go look for your brother. That I wife. That I fucking wife. Your woman say, yo, man, go put you on the list. Man, go put you on the list so you can go look for your brother. And me talk to Dawg. And me and Joe are friend. Me and Joe are friend. And me look me see some fake people in a Joe house. And me can't even touch Joe fucking doorway. So man and Joe are never friend. So man Joe never talk, bro. And then me see that Joe house. And me there at the fucking house. See my fucking culture right and see the black fucking city here, dog. Enough time is still in my room and black out and I said to myself, say, no man.
Wow. A very passionate speech by Akeem. And I'm gonna say this because I have a lot of like for this guy in terms of I've seen him grow, I've seen him take many steps forward, but I've also seen a lot of errors in his ways. I don't believe that he's a bad guy, but I believe he makes bad decisions. I believe that he's caught up in the hype and has bad company around him. That's my personal opinion about World Dog. But when I listened to this, I said to myself, how the hell can he be charged and he hasn't been arrested? Now, interestingly, somebody came on my Facebook and they said that, listen, in American law, you can actually get charged without an arrest. You just be presented with a court date. And I did investigate that, and that is definitely true. But I wanted to know exactly on what basis could World Dog actually catch charges in relation to the passing of Joe? What could he be guilty of? Now, I don't know if you guys remember this guy who made this TikTok back in October. I'm going to share this with you. Let's just remind you of this. Because it's not the first time we've heard that he deserves charges or he's going to be charged, right? We have heard this before. But I just want to remind you about when we heard it. So let me just share this with you and remind you of what was said in this video. Hold on, let me reconnect. I hate my computer, guys. It just does this to me every time. Bitch. Lord Jesus. All right, we're ready again. It's like every time I come off of something, it goes on. So
Dawg is responsible for Joe's death.
Carol, Dawg put himself in that situation. You kill your friend with a what?
now that, first of all, that's absolute crap. You can't do that. Yes, you can go and you can report that you have been threatened. Yes, it is a state where you can purchase weapons. Can you hear now, Tammy? Because I did restart it. I hope you can hear now. Yes, you can do all of that. And yes, you can report that you have been threatened. And it is illegal to threaten somebody's life in the state of Florida and other states. But just go and retaliate without cause in terms of, say, you're protecting yourself, you've been attacked yourself, and therefore you're retaliating. So you can't just sit a person and know, so them they threaten you and decide for just open fire. No, that's illegal.
What an exactly what I do right now.
All right. So that's what this guy said, and he blamed him directly for the passing of Joe. He said basically that, you know, he threatened the people who took the life of his friend, and that's why what happened. All right, now this is Blam Them. You know, say Blam Them always have one whole things to say. So we're gonna listen to Blam Them.
I don't need to know no man. The occupying people. Well, I have a friend from people in my parent, but they trouble people. And including to them, my friend. Yes, I mean, the man trouble people, my name shoot someone, and it's saying about the bro, and it's saying about the bad man. Yes, I mean, I'm not going to have the bro. It's shoot a man and it's saying about the bro, that man shoot a man, bro.
And then the man say, oh, get up, get up, get up. And the man him say, man, bring outside. And now the man wants to come. Hello, when can't manage, bro. We're not gonna tell him, say, I'm not a bad man, I'm a comedian. And I'm not madness, man, I don't follow around. Isn't it? Right, now look more that we can too. Nerd, listen, everything. I make people in Hawaii. If I'm on it now, one of the eyes I found people. I'll go down my name, I'll be up. Is it a side feed out coming with you can show, right? Reach him. I'm going to do it all road. Well, I'm going to use a nice car and a regular. I didn't have much money at the time. I got party. Well, I'm going to use it. Perfect. Which is squash. Well, I need to be outside. Well, I need to go out and party. I'm sorry, isn't it? So you want me can't go. Can't go on 2 months around 1 year, but you can't do it favor. Yeah, reaching and shoot up around. But yeah, I'm team already going to focus in yeah, right? You get me an in of yeah. I'm a buy out man thing back man. I'm gonna fuck you know. And if it do a 6 months. What did it? I treat my parents. That's like reaching.
Internet, I'm
all right. So Blam Dem had that to say, and obviously we know that World Dawg did an interview recently where he spoke about the fact that he was owed money and that the whole thing that was set up against him and his friend was because he went and asked back for the money. Now, he never spoke about the manner in which him asked back for the money, but me can't assume that him go up to the person and say, can I have my money, please? That a whole heap of words were exchanged and probably actions. Now, I wasn't there. I am not going to speak as though I was a fly on the wall, nor am I going to speak as though I have any first-hand accounts from any witnesses. All I can say is that one can only predict that it would have been a very charged environment when he was asking back for that money, right? And, you know, some man road, them not deal with confrontation very well. And what happened subsequently led to the demise of his friend. Now, could World Dawg be charged for what happened with Joe? I did some investigation and actually he could be charged. And what made me think that he's actually speaking on the basis of some kind of legal ramifications that have been presented to him is the fact that he said one thing. And I'm just going to share with you this article that breaks down the 3 degrees of taking someone's life, okay? So just hold on a second. And this is based on Florida law. So I'll just share that. I hope you can see. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can, right? Okay, so it speaks about the 3 degrees of taking someone's life, right? It talks about the first degree, which we know is definitely not the case with World Dawg. World Dawg not gonna get charged with this because with first degree, it's basically somebody who has premeditated the act, right? In other words, the person deliberately goes and commit the act of taking somebody's 3 points, and that is not the case, right? It's you know. It could be also that you're an accomplice that caused somebody's passing. right? But it would be that you're an accomplice in that the two of you plan to go out there and do something that led to the passing of an individual, right? Now, obviously, the penalties for first degree is quite severe. You could end up with the death penalty or life in prison without the possibility of parole. But when I read this one, which is second degree, it's talking about the fact that you could get this charge for two specific reasons. Either one, the death was caused by an act imminently dangerous to another and demonstrating a depraved mind. Now, if Joe's family looked at the actions of World Dawg on that night as categorized in these ways, then they could have a strong case if they have evidence. In other words, they would be saying that World Dawg took action that was inherently dangerous and likely to cause the death of Joe. This is the difference between this and first degree in that he would not have planned to do this ahead of time. It just happened at the event, on the day, right? Now, it could be that, or it could be this point that during committing an act of crime, someone lost their life. And this may not necessarily be by World Dawg himself or anyone else that was participating in the criminal act that was taking place. So, for example, if there was burglary, kidnapping, any of those things there that are listed, and somebody ended up losing their life, not necessarily at your hands or by the other people that are committing the crime. So say, for example, somebody ran off, dropped, licked them head and dead, because then come in and see you do something or you do some crime, then you could end up with second degree. We know that this second category does not apply to World Dawg. The only one that I see that could make a connection with him is the first one. Now, in terms of second degree for the taking of somebody's life, the minimum sentence is 16 3/4 years in prison without the chance of parole. The maximum sentence is actually life, but certain aggravating factors can raise the minimum. Now, this part is what made me open my eyes. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can. Because remember, World Dawg said very clearly and categorically that he could be facing 25 years, right? Now look at this. I'm going to highlight it. It says here, if you use a firearm while committing the crime, for example, the minimum sentence rises to 25 years. Now, this line made me think. It made me think very deeply. Come and say to myself, say, wait there. So this I tell me, say, that somebody in the legal system has advised him. Because the 25 years was very specific, guys. The 25 years was very, very specific. It wasn't no little passing comments. Him never said the 16 years. Him never even say life. Him said him a look pan at least 25 years. So that means that he would have been using a firearm during the situation for him to be getting at least 25 years. It can be the case that it's just him innocently turn up there. Calm here. It can be the case that him just innocently turn up there or just go and say, can I have my money, please? Or him even go up and say, hey, boy, go suck your mother, give me my money. None of those things will apply. It will be the case that there was an altercation where badness gone. And in that badness taking place, firearm present. And in that presenting of the firearm, one person get them 3-point tech. You understand? Now, I have several questions about this because to me, it's like, well, where did this take place? Because we know that the shooting at Miramar was a certain short distance away from where they were clubbing, which is where the original entanglement took place when the request for the money was made. You understand? So, did it happen outside the club, in the club, at Dunkin' Donuts? Where were these firearms presented that it ended up with one young man losing his life? Who popped off first? Who presented the badness first? Those questions are going to be left unanswered until some kind of formal process takes place and we're able to access court documents. Like I said, when I went on the court records, I saw absolutely no evidence of any open case or charge. So maybe there is a slight delay. I mean, I know that it's Christmas time and there may be a backlog in Broward County. I don't know. But it's very, very strange that he spoke out of his mouth and said 25 years. And this is the only way 25 years features. And then, of course, we go to third degree. Now, third degree is about while attempting to commit a non-violent crime, that is a crime not on the qualifying list for first or second degree, you or your accomplice cause someone's passing. The sentence in the third degree is 10 to 15 years in prison. So it's very, very specific third degree. So it lets me know that this has nothing to do with whatever it is that World Dawg is referring to. You see, cock mouth kill cock. Sometimes we have to be so careful of the information that we release on the internet because you more or less open up yourself to scrutiny. And when you say too much, you give away a lot. You understand? And it's clear to me that from he mentioned 25 years, my ears went up because I'm like, hang on, how do you know exactly what the sentence could be? Somebody is actually talking to you or you've actually been spoken to by a legal representative or, you know, you've actually definitely gone down, starting to go down the path of receiving the charge. He's saying that when he came out of hospital is when he was landed with the charge, which is why I found it strange there was no public record of this. Because from the time that happened and now, surely Broward County should have woken up and updated their court records. But it's not far-fetched to imagine that Joe's family could be going down this pathway. And perhaps he panicked. Perhaps he threw things out there because he wants pressure to be placed on Joe's family. Maybe it was a situation of him being desperate to reach out to them somehow to let them know that he is deeply sorry and that it was never his intention for this to happen, that he did as much as he could out of remorse and regret to try to make up for or to compensate for the loss, which is impossible. You can never compensate for the loss of a life. But, you know, in terms of feeling guilty and trying to do something. But at the end of the day, it's also interesting to note that since the passing of his friend, and despite the fact that he is a very, very large-scale influencer, you've never heard him come out and try to do anything for Joe's family necessarily. You know that Joe passed and left a pregnant wife and children. So, you know, you've not heard him use his platform to say, come on, guys, we're going to raise some money this way. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I'm going to try and plant a seed in the future of the unborn child. He has kind of just like gone into himself and he only comes out and speaks about himself. Remember when you had the situation with Naya, he even made that very insensitive comment where he spoke about the fact that he's not about to give any sympathy because Naya gave no sympathy to his situation. And he received a lot of backlash from that, and rightfully so, because that's the loss of a life. And it cannot be compared to his situation because he walked out unscathed. Well, he was injured, but his life was intact. So I really wonder about that 25 years, because the only way that 25 years enters the picture is if a firearm is used while committing a crime. So what crime were you committing? Was the firearm legal? Did you commit a crime in terms of threatening a life? Did you fire first? Because all of those things would constitute a crime. Because indeed, when you do threaten somebody's life, it is a crime. You understand? It is a crime. So unless you are aware of this already, but maybe not, there is something called the Bain Act, right? And the Bain Act in itself, when you violate it, it is against the law. So the Bain Act is any individual whose rights have been interfered with by threats, intimidation, or coercion may institute and prosecute in his or her own name or on his or her own behalf a civil action for damages, including but not limited to damages under injunctive relief, so on and so forth and so forth. So all of these things would constitute a breach in law, because if you threaten somebody's life, if you try to intimidate them, coerce them into doing anything, then you have violated the Bain Act, right? And if he did that, then he was in the act of committing a crime. And if he did that with the presentation of a firearm, it's even worse. You understand? So the fact that World Dawg said 25 years shows me that he's very much aware of not only the degree that he could be charged with, but why he would be charged with that. So while I saw nothing on record, it really makes me question, is a charge taking place? Has a charge taken place? Is something in the pipeline? Are the family pushing for a charge under these circumstances? What else are we not being told about the circumstances around Joe's passing? Because I know everything we get telling our people. I know everything we get told. We will get told the bare minimum, because obviously there can be legal ramifications for World Dawg. There's certain things he's not going to say. And if, as according to Blam Dem, there are ties with sick or any kind of gang-related activities, then there are serious reasons why silence would be the best option. But he definitely spoke a little too much in his last rants. And funnily enough, he went live on Instagram shortly afterwards. The Instagram live, I think it nearly broke, because the amount of people that jumped on there, I look for where am I going to say next? And he literally, flipped the script on the audience and was laughing it off and spoke about every other random thing except that, But he did say something in code when he basically was saying that the people who take the life of the brother as so were friends, and he basically said they were friends with his enemies, and him never know, or friends with his friends rather, and him never know, and him just a find out, as though he's implying he was set up for the situation that took place. I do have it on screen recording. I might play it. So it's almost like he's saying that he was set up to be the pawn in this whole thing. But why would they set him up? I don't know. In the interview he gave, he spoke about a lot of envy and bad mind because of TikTok earnings. That, the fact that he did so well on TikTok, he could buy things out of TikTok, including cars and stuff. That his success is what drove the individual who did the act to do what he did. But that interview contravenes what he's saying when he did that impassioned speech. Is it that you know about being potentially charged with a sentence of at least 25 years because you know that there is far more to it, and that the way the family may be pushing for the charges will take into account the fact that you may have had a firearm? Those are the questions I'm asking, World Dog, because you were very specific with the time that you could get. And that tells us a whole lot indeed. Let me take a look at some of the comments. People need to understand social media badness is completely different in real life. Yes, he found out the hard way. When Broward County Sheriff coming for you, they're not telling you. Certainly doesn't take so long to procure a warrant. Yeah, it's the part I found very strange, Camille. I know that certain bloggers have put it out there that he's lying, that he's doing this for riding off of Naya's hype, the hype that comes with the whole Naya passing. Lots have said that he's just doing this for attention, whatever. But I think that there's a limit. Yes, World Dog, we know he's an attention crazy guy. But I don't think he would necessarily want to capitalize on this situation at this time, because he only responded because Joe's family were talking about the situation on a live. I haven't had access to that, but he clearly did. And that made him come out and say the things that he was saying. But I don't think the rationale behind that doesn't make sense to me. World Dog is not a man that is lacking in followers or in getting a strength on social media. Look how quickly he became verified when he went across to the new app on favorites. So this is not a guy that's hungry for followers and support. He has his supporters, he has his following. So I don't see why he would be so hungry for hype and make such a statement. And then to be so specific with the time. That's the part of it that I find interesting. You understand? He was threatening the guys weeks before he went to Jamaica. Yeah, I saw those videos. I'm not going to make any assumptions, but I saw videos of verbal threats. I saw videos of him telling people, even when he was in Jamaica, I saw a video of him saying, come to Jamaica if you're bad, my day at Jamaica now. And Ray. You understand? Do this and beat me kind of thing. And I did see that. I'm not going to assume that they're necessarily the same persons, but there's definitely somebody who he was having a beef with. And it's like one of those things, people. You can't call up no name and say, yeah, are them people, they are them people, if the words them don't come out of their mouths. We have to be careful and say, possibly, potentially, that kind of thing. So it's clear that there was aggravation in the background of what took place that night. But it's not clear exactly who was the person who perpetrated the violence when they were on the scene. Who did it first? Now, based on the rumored conversations, he approached, and even what he said on the interview, he approached them for his money that was owed to him. And that's why they retaliated the way they did, which really trivialized the situation. It's like, really? Somebody really come and bust up them pipe you because you didn't ask back for money? And that to me was too simple, too simplistic an explanation. So if we were to go by what we know in the second degree charge and how 25 years come into things, it's clear to me that the way that those guys were approached, or whoever was approached by World Dog, was not no lily thing. It was a light. It looked like it was a serious matter. But anyway, make we move on. We have some questions. We're asking the questions. We will await the answers. We're not going to make any unnecessary conclusions just yet. If World Dog is lying, it will come to pass. Or if the family decide not to go ahead with the charges, it will come to pass. If him get charged, the evidence will be there on the county clerk system. But as I said, up until when I checked last, there was absolutely no evidence of that. So make we go into this situation now with Juici Beef, Patties, and Thunda TV. I want if people to talk about this thing because Juicy Beef go put out an advert and them use Thunda TV's viral voice. And then put it to another influencer. Now, when Juicy Beef did that, Juicy Beef thought that they had won because the influencer that they put it to, this influencer, her name is Lee Not Nice. Now, Lee Not Nice, she has 293.8K followers on TikTok, whereas Thunda TV, who is also on TikTok, has followers of 49.5K. Now, it's clear to me that they went for the heavier influencer because they were looking at mass reach, they were looking at marketability, who would get the word out to more people. So, purely on the basis of influence power, they chose to go with Lee Not Nice. But yet they chose another TikTok influencer's voice and viral sound to be represented by Lee Not Nice. Now, we have a few questions for us, and we know that the whole thing has been resolved. So before we get heated, yes, it has been resolved. But one has to ask the question about whether or not the marketing team at Juicy Beef had their head screwed on straight when they made this decision. Now, you're trying to tell me that even the influencer Lee Not Nice, I'm not beat you too much because you are a very good content creator. I like the little dance them also. But Lee Not Nice, you never feel a way when you da lip sync to the girl voice, knowing that is another TikToker. I just want to know. Because me would I feel funny doing that, knowing that it's somebody within the diaspora that's also a TikToker. I mean that they are out to feed them voice. And knowing full well that this person don't even know. So that's what happened. But in the world of TikTok, those things happen all the time. People lip sync to other people's viral sounds all the time. And it's perfectly legit on the TikTok app. And it's considered a reworking of somebody's original creation. And therefore not necessarily a breach of copyright, but more kind of a creative offset. Now, when this hit the internet, of course, the internet was in uproar. And everybody was like, listen, you need to give this girl our props. And you need to make sure that she gets our earnings. I don't know how to order. Some people ball out and say it's colorism because Lee Not Nice is a browning with long hair. And Thunda TV is a beautiful dark chocolate girl. And in their mind, it was like, no man, is that this thing because them want somebody with what they, the colonial minded consider to be high color, representing their brand. I tried to steer away from that argument because I'm looking at it from other perspectives that could exist. So, for example, if Lee Not Nice had a lower amount of followers than Thunda TV, me that say yes, something there so. But actually, the mere fact that she more or less not just doubles but almost triples the amount of followers that this young lady has presents itself to me as a stronger argument than necessarily about physical shade, But it doesn't deny the fact that something might go so too, because we know how Jamaica stay. But I don't think that point would supersede her influencing capacity. There were a few commentaries on the subject that I want to share with you. Just bear with me a second. Let me pull up my TikTok. I want to pull up my TikTok, I don't want nobody run over the go follow me. I mean, I really use TikTok to that. All right. So I notice every time I show my TikTok pan here, start sending some requests. But anyway, make we listen to some of the different perspectives. Hold on there. Let me share my screen. All right, thumbs up if we can all see that. Thumbs up if we can all see that. Right. Big up yourself, Carrie. I haven't seen you for ages, girl. How you doing? Um, Big up yourself, Ione. Different countries, yes, different time. That is true. Big up yourself, Debbie. I see you. All right, so let's listen.
Nobody not realize what happened. Juicy Patty. We have been doing commercial over the years. So I don't know what it takes and what I'm not to do. And if you said I'm going to Jamaica, I'll just try to find a way to cut out people out of them one things. But Thunda not look a certain way, Thunda not match the criteria we're looking for. You use our voice. So then the voice definitely match the criteria. You use our voice, but you can't use our face. Why? She not look a certain way. She don't have the complexion what it requires. She can sell to the masses. But she been doing all of that in her own rights. You know what I mean? She have the platform and she's been using the platform. Her sound is viral. That's why I'm gonna pick it up and use it without she knowing and thinking I could have get away with it. No, I don't get away with it. And a lot of people that say, oh, look how much people use it, I should have said nothing about it. Yeah, because they might use it for fun. They might use advertisement, selling more products because the sound is very real. Yes, no matter what, the sound is real. It's natural. It's a commercial brand. Anywhere, even Jamaica can use that. That's what she did it well. So we can't cut her out cut her out her duty where she put her effort to get it to where it's at. Come on, sister. Been in this business for years. So don't try to come up with small content creators. Them best in them craft and I do what them have to do. You know? Do better. Do better, man. Do better. Corporate Jamaica, you need to do better. As a Thunda TV, make it known, make it. I wasn't a part of it. You understand? And when they realize and I write with them, I write. It's too late. Don't have to do, I just make it go right. Do the right thing. That's all I have to do the right thing.
When I tell you about the power of social media, he really broke down what a lot of people were feeling, including Thunda herself. What is wrong with me? Why can you share my voice, but you can't share me? Right? So we have another perspective here that I want you to listen to. Another perspective, right? And tell me what you guys think.
No, the party company don't need to pay for any sound at all. Why? Because it's sound free. It's sound public. The minute you hit the plus button and make a video, even this video I'm gonna make right now, post it. TikTok make sure so they waive the rights to the sound. The sound is public. The sound can be used by anybody. That's why they made the platform that way. If you wanted to make sure you get paid for your sound, you have to make sure that you distribute your sound to a distribution company on our website, like 1RPM or DistroKid, distribute your sound. That's why you can get paid for it. Because I go to all platforms, including TikTok, and when people use your sound, they get royalties. That's why you get paid for your sound. Yes. Now, if it was like image or a likeness, them understand. Like them use our image on a poster without our consent. Yeah, run the check. What is our sound on TikTok? There's no check to be ran. Not at all. I'm sorry. And I understand because I say, but if the company them reach out and no, sorry, the company then take the sound and them might use for their marketing campaign and whatever. And I make money. So there's flaws to what you're saying because it would have been okay for them to use the sound. Is that what you're saying? If they were making that money. Okay, all right. Video. Hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans out there. Tens of. But because a company uses them, they must pay a dime. The country. Because first world countries don't do it. They don't do it. But the thing first, guys, register your sound if you want to get paid for it. Also, they not even they need to take down the video. The only reason why it's doing the video is the public is doing an uproar against them. So they, but they never need to, by right? They did not need to. They don't want the public to be upset anymore. That's fine. I mean, but they never need to.
He has a point. And more TikTokers, as they become large scale, and not just TikTokers, social media personalities, are going to have to start to take seriously their brand in a way that they copyright certain things that have gone viral to make it their own. Look here, me get catched away. They already know one time on Facebook, my ad one clip from this viral video. The sound and everything was on my the end of my original work, and just for that, like 20-second feature, I had to take it down. It was an instant copyright match because millions had accessed the full video, and the sound of it that was there, it was copyrighted, and there's no way I could have used it. Now, it really is about, and when I reached out to them, they said, sorry, they're not going to withdraw the copyright strike because this is their work and stuff like that. And it's copyrighted in how many countries. And I was like, well, fair enough. It's true. It is theirs. But at the end of the day, you have to learn these things as you use other people's content. So this is a lesson for Juicy Beef. Because once you are a corporate entity, people are going to see dollars. And they're going to see that you are capitalizing in a way that puts you in a financial win and puts them at a financial disadvantage. Now, they have come correct and they have fixed things with the young lady. I'm going to share one more perspective so that you can see a little clip of what it is that Juicy Beef had done.
Dawg is
Sorry there, guys. Let me just mute this. That caused, all right. So let me go to this. Pull this up. Right. So okay, here it is. It's this one. Right, so you can see for yourself. Okay, so there is the other influencer whose image and presence they used with her voice.
so the video with Juicy Beef. I'm in Jamaica. Where are you?
So that was the sound. I'm in Jamaica. Where are you? Which this girl uses all the time when she had do her little videos them, and she had show us that she had eat Jamaican food or eat Jamaican.
The video with Juicy Beef utilizing Thunda's viral sound. They got credit for it, which is Juicy Beef, but didn't give credit to Thunda for her viral TikTok sound, which I am in total agreement to give Thunda credit for her viral TikTok sound. However, let this be a futuristic lesson for all content creators. Please, when you do your content, even though you cannot predict if your content will end up being viral, once it goes viral, consider start copyrighting your viral songs. Start licensing your viral songs. That way, no one can steal it. That way, you will know it's fair use, but someone will now have to ask for permission and also get your content because this situation other way, but because Jamaicans situations will come together and I admire that they advocate for Thunda because yes, thanks to Jamaicans, the number and pressured used to be Patties.
Yes.
Deleting that video and stuff. We can also give her credit. She did a good content. Main focus is on Thunda's deserves the credit. They should have.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna read Carrie's comment because Carrie's comment is brilliant. This was my take on it. Even though Juicy Beef could have do anything illegal, them tear you apart on the wall. Over Pinky, you go write that. Yeah, man, them would have tear you apart for real. Because listen, they see this as a social justice movement, and I have to give Jamaicans credit for that. They understand that. Listen, this is a beautiful Jamaican black girl whose content has gone viral on her own sweats basically, and she deserves the place. She deserves. I don't even understand how it is that Juicy couldn't see that they could have taken this girl and made her even bigger an influencer, because the influence is not just from the bottom up but also from the top down, and just by them using her following and her influence would have grown tremendously. Now they have reconsidered, they have apologized and so on. And she did do a video explaining that things are now sorted with Juicy Beef and that they have come correct with the whole thing. So I'm going to just show that video because she doesn't want the video shown where she was cussing them out. So that's why I'm gonna play it out of respect for what she asked, right? But I'm gonna, and it wasn't really a cuss out because she was not indecent with it. But you know, she didn't want that shared necessarily. So I'm gonna share the one that she did where she said that they came correct and they
the doll is smiling. I repeat, the doll is smiling. So guys, you can check my page and realize I have removed the video. Again, the same thing. Stay with me.
sound on this isn't great.
Yeah. Very proud. Everything is good. Your girl. Okay. You guys already know everything that happened. I'm going to for that myself. Like create and all of that. I'm not gonna lie. Just because their move very quick. You guys do not know what was happening on the back end. You apologize over again. My DMs, I can see the pictures, comment section, email. They called me yesterday, which was Tuesday, and I apologize. I accept all of you guys. I never had any problems with music practice. I'm telling you, you guys know because you see on my page, I literally done a lot of videos with not even only just people, but all different Jamaican brands. I support Jamaican brands. I support brand Jamaica and a whole. You don't know that about me. See, it was not Juicy versus Thunda situation. It was a right situation. So, on the side, but on one side was the right side. I did learn a whole lot from the situation, and I hope other content creators and other brands also learn from this because it was a really good experience actually. I don't think I've done that encouraging it. It's like a lot of other people also in marketing. I also have a background in marketing. So it's a very good experience. And no, for those of you who are concerned or curious, the situation was handled. I think the situation was handled perfectly. I'm not gonna lie, guys, there was something. Even yesterday, this would have been done from yesterday, but I was so busy. So they were in there. I was sleeping for so that it would around all that. So I did it for that part, studying done. My part, I think was the perfect thing. I am a social media content creator. The ad was posted on social media. I responded on social media, and now this is the conclusion on
Social media. She is so beautiful, isn't she, guys? What a pretty girl. And you know, I don't even understand how Juicy Beef couldn't see that a girl like this such a beautiful face for their brand. She literally looks like a beautiful dark-skinned Jamaican woman. And all of her content is about food, which to me is even more appropriate than the content that no disrespect to the other girl, but the content that the other girl pushes out there is more along the lines of entertainment, or it's more kind of rating. Whereas this girl, she is that food industry is about. When you see the girl sit down one time and she eat a plate of stew peas, you see people, I mean, I eat pork, but may I tell you, slap away, And I said, Jesus, please, and she do attempt me. But she would be just the perfect symbol for this organization. And they chose just to take her voice. Come on, man, Juicy Beef. You never did your research. You underestimated the power of social media, and that Jamaican people would stand up for somebody like this. Because this is a girl who, her content is it's so engaging, that people would see her as the perfect person for the job. You understand? So just to add that GCP, they came correct by providing her with some sponsorship. So I will share that as how they fix this before I'm going at the CMR segment. You understand? All right, so let me just share this.
After West Indies, and we'll be doing a lunch giveaway to students who are still on campus. I know that most of you guys gone home. If you're at school Friday, I will be there. You come and get your patty and your drinks, all right? So I want to meet the doll and let's lime and vibe. Hey, get your patty, your friends and your drinks. So
let me just replay that.
The Friday coming, I will be at the university after West Indies, and we'll be doing a lunch giveaway to students who are still on campus. I know that most of you guys gone home. If you're at school Friday, I will be there. You come and get your patty and your drinks, all right? So I want to meet the doll and let's lime and vibe. Hey, get your patty, your friends and your drinks.
So that was very nice of Juicy Beef to do that. They've sponsored her event, and that's good. And I'm glad that they reached out to her and they apologized and they recognize that she may be a smaller influencer than the other girl, but she's still a damn influencer. So give her credit for her work, and put some respect on her name. You understand? But sometimes you marketing companies need to think outside the box. It's not necessarily just about numbers, but it's also about the person who is best fit for the job. You knew her voice carried weight. Her voice was viral. And to me, in terms of if you were choosing just on the basis of numbers, it wasn't good enough to use another content creator's work on somebody else. You really could have reached out to this young lady and given her the opportunity. And I'm hoping that you consider redoing the actual adverts and using this young lady to put the icing on the cake, because she's really deserving. She is beautiful to look at. I don't even know why you wouldn't, and the way she deals with Jamaican food and celebrates Jamaican culture, she fits your brand to a T. So big up yourself, Thunda TV. Well done, and well done to the masses for standing up for a fellow Jamaican and doing that very, very well. All right. Yes, she's absolutely beautiful. Notice how corporate Jamaica mostly use the upper synergy influencers, them very classes. Hey, talk no man. Couldn't agree more, Kay. Yeah, man, she's gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous. Right, okay. I'm gonna go into the CMR section now. So if you're not here for the CMR section, you're free to hop off. Now you don't know, Seb, I'm not gonna stop talk about this situation until there is a resolution to it. Now, I want to just say something, because I know a lot of people, right? They thinking that this is a personal vendetta. And you guys know that, first of all, my channel, they tried to hack my channel to remove the CMR videos. They also gave me a takedown request, because I accidentally overshared information, which is fine because that one was my fault. The next thing they did, which I have not told you about, what I'm about to tell you about, is that they've been combing through my channel and looking for particular videos they can flag for community standard or community guideline issues. The one that they went for with me is the same one they went for, not on Soulflow, on Vibes TV. So Vibes TV, you got a community guidance flag for the same video that I did, and I received that video, that flag 6 days ago. But I caught it and I've edited my video, so it hasn't taken down anything. It was, it was a very small editing job that stopped the process. But they were trying to take the video down. And that was the video about the 7 boys who had assaulted that little girl. And YouTube allowed me to edit out a small section of it in order to put the video back up. So the very same video that they did it with you, they did the same thing with me. Which is why a lot of the vloggers are very hell-bent on fully exposing the behaviors of the Carters with regards to the pending case. But trust me, those kind of things, yes, it's irritating, but it doesn't fluster me a lot. One, I don't depend on YouTube for my money. 2, this is more a side hustle than it is a main hustle. 3, it's never going to stop anything because I am the kind of person that will just keep coming. So you're not gonna win in that respect. But it showed me how much that these people are trying to silence the discussion. And I find that particularly perturbing, because a discussion like this cannot be silenced. You are a highly influential family. And the situation involves a minor. It involves your stepchild. And what we see demonstrated in the public eye, we see a set of people who are falsifying and pretending around their circumstances as though it has not taken place. Now, it could be that that's for legal purposes. It could be because you are trying to deceive the audience. It could be because you are trying to sweep the matter under the carpet and pretend as though it didn't happen at the expense of the child. All of which deserves to be spoken about, looked deeply into, because these kind of behaviors are not necessarily, and I mean the latter two, are not necessarily behaviors we want to see other people emulate. Because if it is that the case that's been presented will result in a guilty charge, how would you feel to know that you were busy up and down going, we love you as a family, we love you, CMR, we stand by you? How would you feel if you found out that everything that was put in that public record, that police arrest record, was true? How would you feel? How would you feel if nobody questioned what was taking place with this little girl, and this little girl gets herself into such an emotional state that the worst happens? And I God forbid, I would never want that. But to not have people question is to silence a victim. And that's why we will persistently say justice for Jay. And that's why I am very happy for my Purple Hearts, because I'm my Purple Heart, let me know, to be used for this movement. It is very important because it has become representative of not just one person, but several others. Interestingly, I am in discussion with somebody whose video also went viral to come onto my channel to speak about her case. And it's a very similar line of situations that never got dealt with. And she never felt she had a voice until she became an adult. Now, it can happen that this child gets silenced so much that she doesn't get the opportunity to have a voice until she's an adult. And I am grateful for not just those of you who are on my channel who say justice for Jay every day, but I'm grateful for all the other bloggers who never stop going and never stop questioning. So whatever personal vendettas aside does not overshadow the main point of why we do what we do. So, as you know, CMR went to Jamaica on his recent vlog to lay his grandmother to rest. Now, I'm going to speak too much on that scenario where he was crying on the podium and stuff. Grief is a common factor to all human beings when you lose somebody that you love. So I'm not disrespectful of the circumstances and the situation. So I'm not going to go there. But I am going to go here. It was interesting to see that on the wife's channel, the vlog premiere was advertised. And with the words, you know, live now kind of thing, telling everybody to go over to the premiere. And underneath the underneath the video, there were many, many comments around the circumstance, around CMR himself. And thank God for my people, let me know, pick up yourself in a John shop massive. Because when we have eye, them have eye, you know. That screenshotted this. Now hold on, before I put this up, let me just check the likes. All right, okay, we're doing okay. Big up on yourself, but it would be nice if you guys could bring me up to 200 at least. Please like up the live before I share this. Yeah, like up the live before I share this. I beg. Please don't let your husband hear you telling the public that you're a girl that just keep going. Creative, come down now. Creative. Creative. Nice. That put a laugh on my face. Thank you. That's not. When it's a creative comment, people. No. Anyway, all right, back to serious business now. That was a little laugh. And I like up the live, man. I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you about. Like up the live, like up the live. You know, I don't come over here and I don't ask to no super chat. I don't ask none of them things. I just ask them to like up the live and push up the algorithms. That is all I ask. Because I want to know if it is that Chrissy don't learn her blasted lesson. I want to know if this woman don't have her head on her shoulders or what. If at some point this woman is going to be brave enough, if this woman is going to grow some kind of spine and stop having this man meddle in her affairs and control her assets. At what point are you going to wake up, Chrissy, to this man's controlling and domineering behavior? To the point where he doesn't even care about how he misrepresents your brand. Because what I saw really and truly showed me that you are still extremely weak and being manipulated by this individual. Or you're extremely weak and deliberately willing to be manipulated by this individual. It's either you're willing or you're not willing enough. And when me see a go on, so really make me think to myself, so this woman really and truly does not care one bit about the impact of this entire situation on her child. So yes, I am going to show you this that I witnessed on the page. You understand? Yes. Mr. Castella dropped The James, let me not tell you. Right, so hold on. Hold on then, let me check and see what I go on, what I go on. Let me lock this down because we no longer need this, and we no longer need that. Shut this down. All right. Share. All right, so I've deliberately blacked out certain things. But anyway, let me make that nice and big so y'all can see it. So the announcement was made on the page, the wife's page, on Facebook. It's also on the Instagram, but this is on Facebook. And on Facebook, this individual wrote this comment here. I'm just going to zoom in as much as I can. Part of his bail conditions should be that he stays off social media. What a narcissist. Now, I completely understand this person's perspective. And I mean, there were parts of the video that were very cringe. You know, the shaking of the money. And I'm just like, you're frightened, boss. My God, that's not even a lot of money, to be honest. So I don't understand why there was a whole thing about money that your brother wasn't even giving it to you. He was only giving it to you so that you could eventually exchange your US and pay him back, or pay him back in US dollars. It was like, what was the point of that? Like, are you not used to money? And then I saw the family's background. I realized, okay, you're coming from the dongle, so I can understand why it is that that money would be an issue, right? So I get it. It felt nice, I suppose, to hold it from your brother. And it felt nice to see that your brother would do that. But it was tacky, to say the least. Tacky, to say the least. And him doing all of this and putting this on vlog just makes me think that he's no longer in Jamaica, guys. And that we're looking at a timeline that's skewed deliberately while he goes through this litigation process. And I'm going to tell you why I said that, because it's interesting, because a very similar clip to the Nine Night was on his Instagram many moons ago. But anyway, before I get into that, look at this. So part of his bail conditions should be that he stays off social media. What a narcissist. And then underneath, there is the response of CMR himself. Tag the woman, part of your mother should have want dash your way. Postscript, and then the name. And you see it for yourself, you know. it's a, oh wow, right? So he's letting the person know that I am writing this on my wife's page. I'm telling you about your mother, we should have abort you. I am telling you about your mother, we should have dash you away. And I'm signing it as my name, so you know, see, I'm me a talk to you. A very brazen and bold step, showing clearly that this person does not care, and lashing out in a way that shows that he's clearly fed up with being accused. You understand? Now, if it is that this is about the fact that he's innocent and he's tired of being accused, one can understand why he would lash out. But isn't the more sensible and business-wise thing to do is to recognize that people are going to still be incensed until something is legitimately placed on their sites as a statement to show evidence of this innocence. Therefore, deleting, blocking makes sense. But this tit for tat retaliation that he's doing, he did it with Vibes as well. When Vibes went live, he went on his Instagram page and he made some little cheeky comment about the fact same I was a watch out in life and whatever. You put your life up for us to watch it out, bro. So what's your problem? But anyway, I said to myself, wow. And the fact that he's brazenly signing it, that it's him, tells you guys that him and Chrissy are very much so entangled, still closely knit, in a way that he has hands on her assets. Her passwords, her logins, he can integrally comment, edit, upload whenever he feels like it. This lack of independence, this, in a way, codependence on this man that is still persisting, goes against the grain of what Chrissy has been presenting as learning to be independent, learning to do things on my own. It shows that there is a very double standard, hypocritical, shady thing happening, where she's putting on a facade as though she's managing and doing things by herself, when really and truly very much in the honeypots. Very, very much in the honeypots. So that was one thing that I spotted. The next is this. Hold on, I'm going to share another thing. Let me pull it up. Let me read some of the comments while I pull this up. HK from me got the Christmas dinner. I knew. Yeah, Chrissy and him cool. Girl a fool ya made. You damn straight. He doesn't give a rat's ass about Chrissy. Why didn't he use his own page to comment? Let me not tell you. Yet she on live lying about her videos are edited in Jamaica. Tell that to the newborn baby. I don't believe it either. I genuinely don't believe it either, people. I believe that he is very much the one still doing everything. And it is becoming more and more apparent that this is the case. Okay. So the screenshot of this didn't come out properly, but I'm going to give you an indication of what was said. But take a look at this. All right, take a look at this. Yeah, let me zoom in and see here. Right, now, first it says PS, and then it says that name. And then this person replies, pour you to her. And then this person replies, rich you. Then this individual underneath here made an excellent commentary, which is this one here. All I want to know is how this lady ever explained to her child when she's older that the money of the vlog was more important than her. And the response to this was kind of along the lines of, because the judge are no fool or something like that. You understand? So basically I say that, listen, whatever it is that you guys are saying here, the judge has seen that none of this is true. The people the people who are look through the case no say this is not the situation. This is not the scenario. So even if you guys want to believe that, the law not going to believe that. When I tell you that this man was brazenly and rampantly answering back people yesterday, and then now afterwards, them do that, them throw them corner, hide them hands, delete all of the videos and a lot of the comments them and so, and tidy it up again and make it look like the perfect little space. But say the people them quick on the screenshot. You understand? But what this shows us is that they don't give one rat's ass about the justice for Jay or caring for this girl or what people think about what is happening. They don't care that they are still very much a unit while little girl has made the claims that she has claimed. They don't care that she may be feeling isolated, that she may be going through such an emotional turmoil, that she may be feeling ostracized in her own family. They don't business. They don't care. They don't care about other people's opinions about the case, because as far as they're concerned, this case is a no-go. It's not going to go anywhere. Now, a lot of people have been asking whether or not the child could be coerced into retraction. Let me tell you this. One, retraction isn't so easy and so simple. In Florida, it's very difficult to retract a case, but what you can do is you can add to the case. You can add to your statement. You can say what it is that made you lie, but you can't take the statement away. The statement stays there and it stays there forever. But you can add to it and you can say, listen, something else was happening. And that's what made me say the things I said, but you can't take it away. Now, it may not be considered a retraction, but it gives other grounds for considering when it comes to court. And who to tell if they haven't already influenced her to do that? But you see, UJ, one day you're going to grow up. And if in fact you were influenced to add on to your statement in a way that undermines your original position, and you were encouraged to do so when it's not the case, then just know that coercion is illegal and an arrestable offense. It is against the law for any minor or even any other person, an adult, to be coerced into changing their statements. So anybody who is doing that is in breach of the law if it is taking place. So like I said, it can't be retracted, but it can be added on to. And she can decide to write something in to say, listen, I felt under pressure by the officer, and then the officer gets investigated. Or she can say, listen, I had a falling out with my stepdad that morning and I wanted to retaliate. So I said all the things that I said. It doesn't mean that the case will not continue, but it does mean that when it's looked into in court and stuff, if he's presenting that she's lying in his defense, it will strengthen his case, and it will likely mean that he will walk away without any consequences. We're going to sit back and we're going to observe how things are going. But all I can say to you guys is that this woman is not taking a stand in terms of the protection of the child. If she still has this man up and down on her platform making these kind of comments using her full brand name, it shows that she's still very much controlled by him, and he still very much has a high stake in her earning capacity. I've often wondered how it is that whenever a vlog is uploaded by her, so too does one go up by him. It always happens simultaneously, like literally, at the same time, or it happens consecutively in an immediate sense, one behind the other. Give one a moment to sit, and then immediately after comes another that's his. You understand? It always happens like that because one person is very much behind the uploading of both contents. And I strongly believe it's him, especially given this that shows that he's the one who advertised it on her page and told people to come over. This is not a family that has the right values around the raising of their child. I'm telling you that point blank and period. Because any family that was going through this and had the right values around the raising of that little girl would have, one, taken a step back from social media to concentrate on her well-being and the well-being of the other children involved. Two, would not have been acting as though nothing is going on, but would have at the very least made a statement to say, listen, we are dealing with this. We are working through things with our daughter. And hopefully the law will show that this was just a big misunderstanding or whatever, something, if they think it's not true, or that we are supporting our daughter through this challenging time, if it's a possibility, at the very least. But they don't want to do that because they don't want to admit guilt. And admitting guilt is going to have a knock-on effect on their pockets. And when you listen to even the content that CMR pushes out there, when he says that, listen, let's just focus on, instead of out there a cuss back with people, when he said to the sister-in-law, just make money off of them because them a do it off of we, shows that his mind is very much about that. He's not about anything else. So the presenting of his grandmother's funeral, I didn't even watch it all out, to be honest, because I'm just like, this is such a private and personal moment to show your brother jumping at the grave and all of them, something. Mighty God, I mean, is nothing off air? Are you so addicted to the coin that you can't even preserve your family's most hurtful moments currently to actually not put something like that online? It is beyond me how low you will go to capitalize on every moment of pain. So the fact that you would go so low as to capitalize on this also, to me, lends to your possibility of being guilty, because this is an opportunity for you to capitalize. If you did innocent, you would have come out and you would have gone with yourself. No care what no lawyer say, because that in itself would have sell off. That would have gone so viral. But no, I have to strategize behind closed doors, and I have to keep it hush hush. I have to be careful and cautious about how I step, because I'm busy trying to design and restructure the narrative in a way that makes it look like that this little girl is a liar and you are in fact innocent. I'm sorry. There are many things, many loopholes in that police record that shows you to be a liar from the pit of hell. So much contradictory information that shows that you are literally speaking like a nervous person who is guilty and trying to cover their back. So this in itself shows me that there is a strong possibility that you are very much guilty of the accusations that have been presented against you. And on that basis, none of this will fly with any of us who stand on the side of the child. None. The speech at the funeral was very selfish. The lady dead. Who gives a rat's ass what you're going through personally? And then I tell you, when the bawling has to start, and the most difficult thing I'm going through at the moment, and I'm just like, dude, what you do? That's your grandmother's passing. Like, you should be focusing on your memories of her, and but instead you use the opportunity to you use the opportunity to paint yourself as the victim. That's what you did, and you persistently do it. That was not about your moments, but you took it and made it about your moments. And I just moved on from it, because I'm just like, that's not the time, not the space, not the hour. You understand? For you to be doing this. Narcissistic behavior, absolutely narcissistic. And that's why that first comment got to him so much that him fly out of shell and he had to comment on that page. That's why he had to run out and say what he had to say. Because when he saw that, it hit a nerve. He has been told it so many times that it can't be a lie. So it hit a nerve so much that instead of answering in the pretentious, calm CMR that we see on his live, giggling and you guys and this and that, instead of answering like that, we almost get a straight go suck your mother, because that him did leave for say, instead him I tell her straight, say her mama should have dash her away. You understand? So we got the real CMR in that comment. That was the real person. That right there so was the real person. None of the stuff that you see on camera with those dead eyes and that silly grin, none of that is real. That what you saw in that comment, that's real. Yes? And it goes to show you that you guys are busy camouflaging a monster. And one day you guys are going to regret it. And I truly hope that it is not at the expense of his family. because then all of you people are going to feel so guilty. God help you know. God help you know. And it is only a matter of time. A sister and the husband went to the yeah, me know. Me see it. Me no business. It's a family event. It's a situation where a lot of family members are going to be present. And remember, it's about respecting the dead. So I'm not going to bash anybody for attending or being there for that passing, because that really has nothing to do with it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they may know her through him, but once you get to know someone and they've passed, you're fully entitled to be at that funeral, for the passing. But it's either that you're there to pay your respects, your final respects, or you're there to support this narcissistic potential criminal potential, right? Um, I want you guys to go over to OMGGGTV and I want you to listen to that video. I've actually posted it in my community tab. It's absolutely brilliant. It was an AI court thing, but AIs, what they do is the AIs, they almost think for you and look at possible and rational discussions around a subject. And everything that I have said on this platform, this AI has said, I mean, AI, but when I say the reasoning on the subject is so deep and so interesting, only need to go listen to it. So do one give OMGG TV a like, a subscribe, and watch that latest video. Your mouth is gonna drop open, because if a blasted computer can see it, and some human beings cannot, it's beyond me. But anyway, I want you guys to make sure. How would like to know if the court case is still on? It's still on, Natasha. It's still on. It has not closed. It's still an open case. And as I said, he now has 6 open court cases. So if you've missed that live where I presented to you the other court cases, he has 6 open court cases. So this one is obviously the one that is for the felon, the potential felon, is still open and not closed. And like I said, I genuinely believe that we are just operating on a timeline that he is presenting to the public in order to confuse the enemy. Because we're enemy, those of us who question him and question him, his intentions, we're the enemy, right? But there was a video that he had put up where he basically had shown the 9 nights of his mom, his grandmother, and it looks very similar to what we saw in that vlog recently. Hold on, I'm going through my phone because I want to dig it up. Give me 1 second. Me to go find it. Because if I find it, then, and I'm not gonna play it on here, but I'm gonna describe certain things to you. Just give me 1 second. Because when I saw the wall and the people, let me say, hold on a minute. I'm gonna see the wall there and the people them already. Then I went this on 9 nights I take place because him did put up sitting and then he did put up one. Maybe that was a different thing. I don't know. But when something with mama upon it and so. Hold on there because me know say me no lick my head, And that I can be very sharp. Sometimes my eye them see first before my brain computes. But when I see something again, it pulls right up in my mind. So hold on there. I am scrolling right back. Hold on. Because this is going to give me a few answers. And it only just dawned on me when I was about to come live in a people. And I was like, Lord Jesus, I really should have did download that enough to take a good look on it before I come live. But I didn't get the opportunity to because it only just came up into my head. I was like, hang on a minute, I've seen that. I've seen this before. Where have I seen it before? And we are operating on a timeline like he was just in Jamaica or he's in Jamaica now. But something's telling me that that timeline is what he's putting in our heads, but not necessarily the fact. Okay, Cetia to backside. Hold on. All right. So here is, so there's this thing in the yard. There's a sign that says Mama. A little stage, a picture of the grandmother, the wall that has all of the candlelights. Okay, maybe that's a candlelight setup. Maybe a candlelight set up this and not necessarily the 9 nights that leads up to the funeral. Maybe it's just when she passed. I don't know, but this just look like 9 night settings to me. So I'm gonna just drop this commentary so that probably Vibes can take a look on this. But it's definitely the same wall and everything where he then did subsequent videos. So there's something there that makes me really wonder if maybe another event took place. You know, when somebody just died, maybe there was a gathering or whatever for the candlelight when the person just died. But it just struck me as strange that that is there and then now we're seeing this. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, but I'm looking at the video and this was done. Let me tell you the date that this was posted. Let me check my details. This was posted on the 10th of November. So it makes me wonder if this was done before him coming to Jamaica or has he already been? So like I'm saying, don't take it for granted that we're following the right chronological order of what these people present. They're so deceptive that all of this could already take place and we just see certain things. And I know that there's the sister-in-law had put up on going to collect from the airport, but that could all be a part of the con. You understand? So just be very careful about how you're taking it for granted that this is happening recently. Because who is in Jamaica flossing with cash and talking about it blatantly on the live and still sat their ass in the island, knowing that you could become a target for making such a stupid move? I very much think that this man is back in Florida. I honestly, I do. And that he's already been to Jamaica and this has already gone and happened. And God knows what's taking place at the moment. We do know that the graduation took place when it took place, but it doesn't mean necessarily that he didn't get time off already to go and do the funeral and that we're only just seeing it. Anyway, Elita says you're not getting any notifications. Please double click the bell so that you see wiggly lines beside the bell. Because if you don't see those wiggly lines, you have to press the bell not once but twice. Then you're only subscribed, but you may not necessarily get notifications unless I premiere or something. Right? So that's the way to fix that. Anyway, guys, big up on a nice clean self. Make sure to like out the live on the way out. It has been a pleasure having a conversation with you. If you are new to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe, hit the bell twice to be notified whenever I go live. Thank you so much for attending A Touch of Class with HTK. I'm out. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.